All right. So I wanted to go over some of the questions that you missed on this adding and subtraction paper that we did. So the first one was adding. You did that one perfectly. So I liked how you did your regrouping and everything looked good on that one. On the second one, when you're adding, the mistake was right here. So you had the 6 plus 3 equals 9. But then when you do 7 plus 5 more, you got 10. So if you, I know a lot of times you use the dashes. So if you were to make 7, 1, oops, let me get my pen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you're adding 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5, and then 10, 11, 12. So that 0 right there should have been a 2. The third one you got correct. The fourth one was subtraction, and it is 6,000. And you're subtracting 4,325. So you brought the 5 straight down, the 2 straight down, and the 3 straight down, and then you subtracted 6 minus 4 is 2. So whenever you have a subtraction problem, you think about it like money. Like if I had $2, so here's $1, and I had another dollar, so there's my $2. If I had $2 and I wanted to give you 3, I couldn't do it because I don't have enough. So whenever that number is smaller, you have to regroup, and you cannot do a smaller number minus a bigger number. So right here, when we're looking at the 0 minus the 5, we can't do that. We have to regroup. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let me get rid of that. We're going to cross that out. There's nothing in the tens place, so we're going to cross that out. Nothing in the hundreds place, cross that out. And then finally, we have something in the thousands place that can help us. So we're going to take 1 away from that, and then we're going to move that value back down the line to the ones place so that we can have something to take away. So we're going to take the 1 and put it in front here, and then we're going to take away from that 10 because we want it to keep going down. So now that's a 9, and this becomes a 10. So the one we took, we're going to give it next door. Then we're going to take that one away so that we can take that one that we took and give it here. So when you have these zeros, you always have this 9, 9, 10 pattern. So now we can subtract. So now we have everything on top is either bigger or the same. So now we're ready to go. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2, you can count backwards. So put 2 in your mind, in your brain, and then you're going to count on. So 2, and then you're going to count on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 7. And then the same thing, put 3 in your mind, in your brain, and then count on with your fingers. So touch your brain, 3, then count on with your fingers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 6. And then 5 minus 4 is 1. So 1,675. Then on number 5, it was the same thing where you did the 0 minus the 2 is 2. You would need to have regrouped. Same thing here. You just brought those numbers down. You cannot do that because these are smaller numbers on top. They have to be bigger or the same. So on those, it was just those regrouping where you didn't regroup. So if you get that regrouping, you'll be all set up, ready to go. And that will help. Then on this next one, it says Molly has 7,432 Pokemon cards. And so here I'm going to draw a box here just to represent that this is the amount, 7,432. This is the cards that she has. Then she goes and buys 408 more. So I'm going to add a little bit more here, and I'm going to put the 408, and that's showing that she got 408 more. So this is an addition problem because it's asking me how many does she have now. So she already had this amount, then she bought more. So that picture, any kind of item that you already have, like groceries. Let's say I have groceries at home, I have food at home. Well, if I go to the store and I buy more food, now I've got the food that I already had plus additional food. So now if I add that together, that gives me how much I have in all. So you were correct when you added it. But whenever you started and you needed to regroup, so when you set this up, 7,432 plus 408, whenever you set this up, you started to regroup like you do in subtraction. So the only time we would take away from the 2 is in problems like these where we're subtracting. Here, we're adding them together. So what we're doing is we're taking 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're adding 2 more, 1, 2. So then when I count all of them together, that gives me 10. So let me take that off. All right, so 10, when I do it, I cannot put 10 like that. I have to put the 1 regrouped and the 0 at the bottom. Then 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8, and the 7 plus nothing is 7. So you were close. I like that you got the plus sign there, but just make sure you're not confusing the things that we do for subtraction with addition. All right, then let's look at this bottom few here. So let me grab those. And let's get rid of these. New one. All right, so on number 8, here it says Sophia has some beads, and she's using some to make some necklaces. How many does she have left? So here we are starting with an amount of beads. So we're starting with a bunch of beads. Then she's going to use some of the beads to make a necklace. So what she's doing is she's got all of these beads, 5,346. She's got that many beads. Well, she's going to use some of them, 598, to make some necklaces. And we want to know, once she gets that amount taken away, how much does she have left? So here you subtracted, that was good, but it was just regrouping incorrectly. So here on this one, you did, let me clean this up. You did do where you had done some regrouping. So let's see what you did. We've got 5,346, and we're subtracting 598. So good job getting the right operation. All right, so here you have 6 minus 8. So you knew that you couldn't do that. So when you regroup, I think it was just putting the wrong number. So let's look. So I know I can't do 6 minus 8 because the 6 is smaller. So I'm going to go to the tens place, and I'm going to cross out the 4. And when I take 1 away, that gives me left 3. Whoop, 3. And the 1 that I took is going to go in front of this number. So it doesn't become a 13, it becomes a 16. So you have your number 6, you just put the 1 right in front. Now we can subtract. 16 minus 8 is 8. And then here now I've got 3 minus 9. I cannot do that, so I'm going to cross out my 3. I'm taking 1 away, so now I have 2. And the one that I took, I'm going to put it in front of the 3. So now it's 13 minus 9. So I'm going to put 9 in my brain and then count on 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 4. Here I cannot do 2 minus 5, so I go next door, I cross it out, and I make that a 4. And the one that I took, I put that in front, and now I've got 12 minus 5. And so I put 5 in my brain, and then I count on to 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 7. 4 minus nothing is 4. And then you can always do your answer plus your 598. And it should, if you did it correctly, give you back 5,346. So you can use that as a way to check yourself. And then here on this last one, or last couple, you did good here. You did the regrouping perfectly. So the regrouping, how you're doing it here, make sure you're doing that exact thing each time because you did it exact. I mean, everything right here is perfect. On number 10, it was addition. You had 8 plus 2 is 10. So I liked how you brought the 1 up here and the 0 down here. Then here's where you made an addition error. So if you have 9, so use your tallies like you use. So 1, oops, and I always like to put like 5 across so it helps me count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you're adding 4 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're adding 1 more. So here that's 5, 10, and then 11, 12, 13, 14. You put 13. So I think you forgot to add the 1 that you regrouped, and you just did the 9 plus 4 maybe. And so make sure if you put that 1 up there, make sure you don't forget to add it as well. So that kind of threw everything off. But otherwise, you had the other part right, you just needed to add 1 more, so you were super close. So go ahead, make sure on the next one that you try those things that I talked about in this video, and we'll see how you do on the next one. Okay, all right, thanks for practicing with me.